The federal budget is unlikely to include any new federal funds for Victoria's suburban rail loop in the wake of a damning report from the Federal Infrastructure Authority. The signal came from the Prime Minister, who flew into a vulnerable seat in Melbourne's booming fringe for Labor for a local roads announcement. Simon Love has more from Donnybrook.
The Prime Minister's made a dash to Melbourne's outer north in the seat of McEwen ahead of Tuesday night's budget to announce a upgrade to local roads, particularly around the Donnybrook Road area. But it was questions over Victoria's largest infrastructure project, the Suburban rail loop, that had the Albanese government under the microscope. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was asked about a scathing report from Infrastructure Australia, which urged both state and federal governments to devise an exit strategy for the $34.5 billion suburban rail loop project. The report was scathing because it then prompted Federal Housing Minister Claire O'Neil to say that the federal government was taking the findings quite seriously, as Victoria seeks more money on top of a $2.2 billion contribution already paid by the Commonwealth.
We'll continue to make assessments as they come through.
The rhetoric from the Prime Minister came as Victoria's state coalition stepped up its messaging on the project, with Victorian Liberal leader Brad Battin urging the state government to cancel contracts instead of just pausing the project. It's an escalation from the state coalition's previous position.
Jacinta Allen has an opportunity now to cancel it, work with the organisations and cancel the contract. That is in the best interest of all Victorians. We know the money's not coming in. If this government is so incompetent they've signed contracts for a project that could effectively send this state broke without knowing where the funding's coming from, let them explain that to Victorians.
I think if Brad Battin's policy that he's taking into the next election is that he's going to sack 4,000 workers, cancel the construction of 70,000 homes and deny a rail link to the two of the largest universities in Victoria, then he needs to come clean and just say that that's his policy.
It's unlikely there'll be any further funds for suburban rail loop in Tuesday night's federal budget, but the Prime Minister hopes that he'll win the election and be able to provide more funding to that project in the coming years. But of course that will depend on the votes right around the country and in marginal seats such as this one in McEwen.